Hi, I'm Kele Le Roc and this is GrimeScene.tv. At the moment I have an experimental album that I'm working on, which has like some dubstep on it, some like electronica, some kind of Miami 808 bass. It's just me kind of just having fun, just being me. Then I have my album, which will be out later on this year, and I also have a new mixtape called Songs I Like, which is basically songs that I like, that I've just done my own version to, or sometimes I've just sung the song but just sung it in my own style, or but it's songs I like basically. I think there are elements in the album that are very reminiscent of probably early 90s pop R&B, or maybe not necessarily pop R&B, but early 90s R&B. So like your Jodeci's, your Janet Jacksons, your Mary J. Blige's, your Jagged Edges, that sort of vibe, because I really love old school R&B, and I don't like that I don't get to hear it anymore. So I've kind of paid homage to that on my slow tracks and my mid-tempo tracks on my album. The up-tempos are quite dancey, to be fair. Obviously I've always had this thing for dance music, and that's kind of branched out from garage into house, like into the dubstep, into funky. I just like house music.
Yeah, I was listening to one of your streams, and you mentioned, I think you had like a track called Boss Lady, which you seem to love so much.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty good track.
I didn't love it so much. It was doubly requested.
It must be loved.
The people asked for the tunes. I give them a reload.
Oh, okay, cool. It must be loved. That one?
Yes.
You've seen Inside, is that the chorus? I don't know.
It's called Inside of Me.
Inside of Me. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
sounds good already.
The vibe.
I like the vibe already.
Yeah, but it's not what it sounds like it's about. It's actually about God.
Oh.
And it's about that. The chorus is, you see inside of me, you see inside of me. No one has ever seen what you've seen, because he sees inside of you. So if your intentions might not be the best, but in your heart, you're pure and you're trying, he sees that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Or if you show a face of being, an upwardly standing citizen, but really in your heart you're evil and bitter, he sees that. So
that's nice.
it's more inspiration for those people that have the best intentions at heart, but it doesn't always kind of work out the way they want it to work out. So it's just like he sees inside of you. Don't worry about that. I would say so, but I don't want to harp on about it, like some Bible bash it up. But I just think, a lot of people are really daunted by the prospect of religion, organised religion, and I hear where they're coming from with that, because I had a big problem with that for a long time. But I will say, I studied the Bible, and I think with knowledge comes power, and I think that things like that you need to know. I think you can't say you don't believe in the Bible and you've never read it. So read it and find out, and then make your judgment. But yeah, I definitely feel we're not alone in this world. To be honest, I didn't initially want to be a singer, although singing kind of came hand in hand with it. I wanted to be a dancer, but I wanted to do like musicals and stuff like that. And basically when I was 12, because I used to do ballet, I had really bad knee, my right knee, and at the time they didn't look at my feet, and it was actually just because I had flat feet, so it would have been actually quite simple to resolve it. And because of that, I just thought, if I'm always going to have problems with my knees, then I guess I should just go into just the singing. And then I just started going to the studio from the age of 12. I'd always written my own songs, like as a child, like just silly little songs. But I just kind of upped it a notch, and I started going and doing cover versions. And then from that, I just started writing my own stuff. I would say my mum was a big influence.
She's a singer?
No, my mum's not a singer, but do you know what's so funny? I kind of found out a couple of years ago that my mum wanted to be a singer, and I was like, really? Because my mum's a clothes designer, so I always thought that was her lifelong dream, but she was like, no, I wanted to be a singer. But then she started to smoke and blah blah blah, so she kind of lost her voice. But my mum was a big inspiration just because she was so supportive of me. And you know, this was at a time when it wasn't trendy, so you know, obviously if you was a famous singer or what have you, then you were in the limelight, etc. But I think because of things like X Factor and Britain's Got Talent, people are more open to the idea now of being a singer or an artist, whereas before people were like, it's a shot in a million, it's like taking a gamble. Nowadays people are like, go with X Factor, you know. I get that all the bloody time. And I'm also a huge humongous Prince fan. I love him to death.
You should sing a bit of Purple Rain, you know.
I never meant to cause you when it's sorrow, I never meant to cause you when it's pain. I only one time wanted to see you laughing. I only want to see you laughing in the purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Woo! Everyone gets their light of that. Purple rain, purple rain.
Wow, that was absolutely amazing.
No, it wasn't amazing, but it was. It was all right.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
I'm actually quite impressed, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because you know how I kind of felt about grime was that it was born. I kind of, you know who I blame for grime? And this is it. I'm saying blame for grime. That's mean. Who I attribute grime to? Soul Solid. There was a rumor spreading that it was made on a PlayStation. I don't know if that was true.
Probably true.
And then obviously, because there were so many of them, and they were all kind of from different estates and hoods, everybody knew someone that knew them or knew them. And then everyone was like, oh, I know them. I know them Brits, I could do that. And then everybody started to try and make their own music. And then obviously at the time garage was out, but garage was a little bit more musical then. And if they didn't have the kind of musicality to do garage, what kind of came out was this kind of very kind of urban sounding, a little bit angry, but it was loosely based on garage because that's what they initially were trying to capture. But without the musicality, you've got this like thumping bass line and this kind of energy. Yeah,
because garage used to be a lot of like someone singing the melody or singing some sort of like a solo artist singing over the top. And I think they switched it up with the spitting bars over the same beat. Do you agree? Because before that, it wasn't a lot of rapping over the top of garage, was there?
There wasn't rapping, but there obviously was MCing.
Yeah.
In the sense of, yeah, I think it was a little bit more catchphrases as opposed to full-blown rapping.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of was born from that, and I think on that type of music, I think you couldn't really do anything but spit on it. I don't think you could really sing on that, like the first type of grind stuff, because they were just in your face, you know? They didn't leave any room for a vocal, they just left room for some frantic chat. I would actually love to collaborate with Wiley, because I think he's a bloody genius.
Oh wow.
I do, I straight up think he's a genius, straight up.
Hopefully you might see this.
Some people might call him crazy. I think we're all a little bit crazy, and I think, you know, at the end of the day, all the artistic people I know, they're all a bit crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care if he's crazy, I just care that he's a genius. Their new single's called SYD. It's produced by AA, who's well known for doing a lot of stuff with Marvel. I think he's recently just worked with K Coke as well, done some stuff with him. He's very young, and I just think he has a really fresh production approach. And whenever I hear any of his songs, it's, for lack of a better word, it just feels bumpy to me. Like, it just makes me want to jig, and that's why I was kind of inspired to work with him. I just really love his vibe. Tigger as well features on the track, and he is an awesome rapper. Like, you know, his mixtape is off the chain. I think it's Tigger the Author. You guys need to check it out. His mixtape is amazing, and I think he's definitely one to watch. He's mad talented, and he just has so much kind of charisma and star quality. Like seriously, it was an absolute, you know, honour and pleasure to work with him on this track. Well, I've been Kele Le Roc, and you're watching GrimeScene.tv. Thanks for having me, guys, and take care. See you all soon.